Eighth episode begins with a scene from the rise and fall of Sanctuary Moon. The lieutenant is now the captain after the navigation unit decapitated the former captain. However, he wiped the Navbot's memories, so she won't go all homicidal again. He tries to reassure the crew of this, but the navigation officer isn't so certain. The captain urges the crew to forge ahead. He tells the Navbot to smile, which she does, creepily. Instead of sending the ship through the wormhole, the navigation unit has them skirting the event horizon. So they're stuck. Forever. Then the Navbot proceeds to kill the crew. She zeroes in on the captain, though, and we learn that she didn't kill the former captain/her lover. He did. So the navigation unit pops his head like a zit. Unfortunately, Murderbot can't finish the episode to see how it all plays out. Mensa interrupts it. We see our PresAux gang has parked the hopper a safe distance from the habitat. Gurathin isn't doing so well. He needs the medbay now. Rathi offers to scour the area for any hostiles. However, Sec Unit remarks that it doesn't see any vehicles. It grabs the camera it installed nearby that collects footage from the habitat. Mensa, Rathi, and Murderbot rejoin Arata, Pinley, Bharadwaj, and Gurathin inside the hopper. They watch the footage. In it, a few Sec units, much like the rogue ones who attacked our crew, enter the habitat, followed by real humans. Pinley researches the insignia on their clothing. They're from Gurathin, a mining company. Their leader addresses the gang. She admits to dismantling PresAux and Delt Falls beacons. However, they killed Lee Bibi, so she declares they should call it a wash. If our heroes want to get off the planet, the Gurathin leader states they must cooperate. She sends them a designated meeting location and time where they can hash this out. She insists this is a misunderstanding. As a gesture of good faith, Gurathin will depart their habitat. This doesn't have to end in violence, the Gurathin leader says, causing our titular bot to scoff in disbelief. Mensa insists they get Gurathin down to the habitat now. Everyone debates whether they can trust Gurathin to leave or if they're lying in wait to attack. Murderbot decides to survey the area itself. After concluding that the habitat is safe, the PresAux crew returns with Gurathin. They set him up in the med bay. Bharadwaj informs the group that Gurathin has gas gangrene. A projectile from the skirmish with the rogue Sec unit embedded itself in Gurathin's leg wound. However, Bharadwaj can remove it. Gurathin insists on no painkillers because he's a recovering addict. Mensa honors this. Murderbot believes it can block Gurathin's central nervous system to prevent pain. After all, Gurathin is an augmented human. Sec Unit insists it only needs to plug into Gurathin. It's done this before. Mensa hopes it didn't get this idea from a Sanctuary Moon episode. Sec Unit and Gurathin connect via hardwire. Now, Murderbot has access to Gurathin's database, as it were. We finally get confirmation that Gurathin carries a torch for Mensa, and it's unrequited. Murderbot finds itself saying, "I love you," echoing one of Gurathin's memories. It's quite emotional. Thankfully, Bharadwaj works quickly, removing the projectile in no time. She urges Gurathin and Sec Unit to unlink. However, Gurathin decides to do a little snooping. That's when he taps into Sec Unit's violent history. Those flashbacks Murderbot keeps having throughout the series, a memory of it killing 57 miners during a mining expedition. Gurathin tells the others what he saw. He adds that Sec Unit calls itself Murderbot. Naturally, the PresAux crew is horrified. Sec Unit tries to explain itself. It has killed before, yes, but only to protect its clients. To it, that's not murder. It's debatable, Pinley remarks. Sec Unit claims it's not a certainty that it murdered those 57 people. Gurathin pours salt in the wound, declaring that perhaps Murderbot is a faulty sentient construct, a malfunctioning machine that will inevitably turn on them. This moment mirrors the scene from Sanctuary Moon at the beginning of the episode. Murderbot storms out. The team debates whether they need Murderbot. Can they go on without it? Should they still plan to meet Gurathin at the rendezvous point? Meanwhile, Sec Unit goes for a walk to clear its head, playing clips from its favorite shows to alleviate its anxiety. It realizes it needs its clients to get off this planet. At the same time, Pinley explains why the company wouldn't be involved in something like this. The Deltfall massacre reflects poorly on them. Dead people are bad for business. So, what does Gurathin want? Rathi mentions the alien remnants that Mensa discovered. That could be enough to kill over. Next, Pinley and Arata believe it's time to end the throuple arrangement. Rathi enters their bedroom and voices the same sentiment, much to their relief. He claims it's because he's fallen in love with Pinley. Of course, we know Arata has a crush on Rathi. Regardless, these feelings certainly muddy the relationship waters a bit. Pinley asks Arata if she doesn't find them attractive. She seems to be incredulous that Rathi would be smitten with Pinley. Rathi insists they can all talk about this. Not now, though, because they might die. Suddenly, it dawns on Murderbot that it doesn't have to die. Sure, its clients might bite the dust, but that doesn't mean it has to. It's the author of its own story. Meanwhile, Gurathin and Bharadwaj insist everyone gather their supplies and flee. Mensa offers to meet with the Grey Chris leader. Murderbot returns to the habitat to inform the PresAux crew of its plan.